Slayton. The title of her speech is Pivot. In terms of inspiration, the thing that inspires her the most is the biblical story of Deborah, Israel's only female judge. Pivot, Marisa Slayton.
Thank you, Contest Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. By show of hands, who's ever heard some variation of the question, what is your 5 to 10 year plan? Or describe where you see yourself in 5 to 10 years. I see every hand in the room has gone up. As you sit here today, I want you to raise your hand one more time if you are exactly where you thought you'd be 5 to 10 years ago. I see one hand. Thank you. My hand would have stayed down, like many of you. And I venture a guess the reason for that is because as the years go by, life events or key decisions along the way made you have to change direction off of where you thought you'd be 5 or 10 years ago. At least that's my story as well. When I think back about where I thought I would be when I was going into college, I went in as a pre-med student. I wanted to be a doctor, and so in 5 years I thought I'd be in med school. But I graduated as an economics major, and then I went to law school. And as I was in law school, I was thinking about where did I see myself? And my 5-year plan at that point was to go into a law firm and then become partner, and 10 years later become a judge. Now, I did go into a law firm and I enjoyed it very much, but I did not become a partner, I did not become a judge. As I was there, I realized that it wasn't quite the right fit for me. And so I began to look for other opportunities, and then one day, I got a phone call from a former colleague telling me that there was a position at the district attorney's office and he wanted me to come and join his team. So I made the shift and I joined the district attorney's office. But it came with a big pay cut, going from the private sector to the public sector. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for a number of years until one day, as political winds would shift, my boss comes into my office and says, "We lost the election and you can't stay here." Just like that, so matter of fact. The entire office was being let go. And so I had to find a new place to land, a new job, a new place of employment. At that time, I thought to myself, well, maybe going back into the private sector would give me more stability. It would certainly give me more money. Annual increases, 401k plan, which I wasn't receiving as a government employee. So I made that shift. Back into the private sector, I worked for a corporation, and I enjoyed it for many years. I thought my 10-year plan at that point would be to climb the corporate ladder and one day become vice president. But one day, and there's always one day, my boss calls and says that they are opening a new business unit and they want me to run it in corporate philanthropy. And I thought, this is great. I get to do the public good, I get to keep my corporate job. This is a great combination. But the job is in Washington, D.C., and I would have to relocate. I had no thoughts of relocating at that time, nor did I really want to. But I decided to make that shift and relocate to Washington, D.C. Everything was going to plan at that time. I had a position which felt like it might have been my dream job, and I was working it, I was doing it, I was invested. Until one day, and there's always that one day, I find myself in the emergency room with a doctor standing over me saying that they found a tumor and I would need to go into immediate radiation and chemotherapy. That was the biggest shift of my life. In the course of your career, you will have many different changes. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that it'll be around 12 to 14 for most adults. And that can vary based on your age, your gender, the region that you live in, but generally speaking, it'll be 12 to 14. And the point is that you're going to have many changes along the way. And some of those changes you might be able to predict. Some of those changes are going to be because you got your dream job. Maybe you lost your job. And some are going to catch you blindsided, like a health scare. But you'll have to pivot anyway. Now, pivoting and transitioning can feel scary because of all of the uncertainty, all of the newness. But it can also be empowering because it's a step towards the next best thing. It's a step towards greater alignment, greater fulfillment, greater inspiration. And you can seize upon that and turn it into something quite rewarding and quite positive. So I want you to think about, as you sit here today, if there's something in your life where you need to make a shift. What is that thing? Perhaps it's a fork in the road. Perhaps it's something that you've been putting off for a while. But I will encourage you to take the step and pivot towards that next best thing. You'll be glad that you did. Thank you.